So in this list, I want to shed light on the invisible war that these people left me battling in by myself, knowing full well what I would be battling based on the list I have of obvious tactics, betrayals, manipulations, gaslighting, setups, emotional mental warfare, and just the all-out spiritual warfare that they planned and created for me. So each one of these should strike a chord. First on the list I have here is mind games and gaslighting. They all played mind games as far as like where they were with me, how they were with me, and to what length and level they were going to go to certain degrees with me in business or other operations, school, my relationships in general. Doesn't matter if it's a friend or a female friend that I'm interested in. The mental warfare that they took was just insane. And then the gaslighting, me realizing that they're going in my home and I'm not second guessing myself, I'm writing this stuff down. And gaslighting in the sense of like I'd be out and about working and my friend could go check on my house, right? But when I got an issue with him, he can't come out of his house to talk to me. I live 2 blocks away. You mean, Podunky, you can go and be at my house, going into my house, going into my data, stealing everything the way you did, to come back into my life, to poison me, so you could continue to work on the drought that you know you were creating in my life. Next is emotional warfare and isolation. The emotional derangement that it can create in general is insanity, and then the isolation. They purposefully isolated me from friends, family, anyone that they could, while at the same time isolating me from work, my own workmanship, isolating me from my own mind, my own agility to sense of self, being that they poisoned me off to fucking murder me. Next is spiritual manipulation and false teachings. Spiritual manipulation is obvious. They're trying to manipulate my spiritual self to get away with their affairs so that they could blackball me or blackmail me, and then go around with all their false teachings to speak ill will about me, or false teachings in the sense of telling people that this is just the way I am or what have you, when it's just not been true the whole entire time. There's nothing that's been wrong with my mind. The only thing that's been wrong with my mind is I didn't know that these things were happening. I didn't know that they were happening. I discovered them through patterns, and you're not going to get rid of what I've discovered to be true because of how triggering it was just reading the stuff. And just the bottom line is that every single one of the elements of a narcissist covert poisoning of arsenic, experience every single one of them. Every single one of them. And I think that my medical history would prove to that fact. And I think that the medical professionals are really not good people. Because I think that with everything that I've come in there for the last 12, 15 years, whatever it's been, has been that. And anyone not to look at my chart and say, this is an obvious poisoning. Like, this person should feel in danger. Next is the financial abuse and withholding. They financially abused me, not only hurting what I have, but they financially abused me by hurting where I could work. They financially abused me by the time and essence that I would have been able to take into my work, along with my agility and sense of self would have helped in my last job. I know that was a poisoning. What I was experiencing there was definitely a poisoning. I just worked through it. I don't know how. It's the fact that I think it's been happening since I was freaking really young. And then the withholding of love, like when you need them, that they're not going to be there, and they know that you need them, so they're going to purposely make it to not be there. They're withholding and withdrawing from loving you in the timeliest of fashions to leave you drawn up, so that they can be like, see, look, he's all out of sorts. He can't control himself. And so they can play upon your reaction to the whole situation as though it's mental health, exactly like what's going on now. And that's just the betrayal of my loved ones, people that I entrusted the most, in the backdrops of my life working this way. You know, I'd always had questions about why this or that with my brothers, but then when I can't even go to you about a freaking murder, and I'm sitting there studying things that are from the Tate brothers, I just don't agree, okay? I don't agree that there's any love there coming from my brothers towards me. I haven't been able to feel it for a long time, and there's never been any benefit in my relationship that they've shared with me. They can go ahead and play it off as though they did this, that, and the other. I'm all ungrateful, this or whatever. They put me up into a place. No, they put me up into a place in Minnesota in St. Paul Park so they could murder me there. They weren't even thinking I was going to get out, be able to pay this check to get this house. But that I did get this house, they utilized it to their advantage. That's why the girl came in, got involved. That's why it was such high dollar, high stakes. And that's why it just really sucked, because I really loved her. And I mean, I really, really loved her, you guys. Regardless of her being so easy to either manipulate or easy to take money for this crime against me, I could tell that there was a point in our relationship where she just wanted me and I was everything that she had wanted. She couldn't figure out how to go back to that, and because she couldn't figure out how to go back to that, her idea was just to blow it to complete smithereens. And that, it makes sense, because you're never going to get that back. And no matter what you do to try and get that back, I'm not gonna be around for that. Like, there's no way that someone should have to tolerate that kind of pain going in and out of a relationship in general, and there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no going back. And it just sucks because I loved who she was in her heart, her kid heart, the one that was getting ruined, and the one that had been ruined often throughout her life, I believe. So either way, it just sucks because I loved my people and I got betrayed in some of the most horrific ways that anybody should ever think to be possible. I totally get that. People have had normal lives and stuff, but what I have had has been anything but normal. No one's gonna surface the memory of walking in that room without that actually being the case. And mind you, my brother's sister is going through a lot, and for it to be put on her to have to say anything at all is just fucked up, you guys. But it's just because she's going through all that health stuff. But yeah, I wish that she would say what she would have otherwise said on the stand that day in court. Because she's told me, and anybody who's anybody hearing that kind of story in the general, you're not going to be able to deny it when it's coming from your own sibling. You're not going to be able to deny it when you have memories of your own that have to deal a lot with your own existence growing up. And so people want to play as if it's just a mental health thing and that I'm just unwell. Well, yeah, who wouldn't be a little bit unwell after the given extremities? But what they're trying to say is that that's all it is you're just unwell. You created, 2,000 plus videos regarding the matter simply because you are unwell. And that, in and of itself, just does not hold any weight whatsoever. As opposed to all my life in a little bit of a tiff, like, what am I doing here? What's going on here? Why is my brother acting this way towards me? And then why are they just deflecting and wanting to just smash me out as a kid even? And it's like, yeah, sure, they got away with it. I was grounded. I'd be grounded an awful lot because I'd be reacting in a way that would be probably not so good, but I don't know what to do. If you ask me, I was suffocating down to the cellular level, and as just like these recent days, I couldn't explain it to somebody for the life of me. I just knew that something was happening to me. And so that's just it. These people can deflect however they want to. That's just what they do. They deflect and it hurts, so it affects you. Then there's just the social setups and the reputation tactics to just ruin me in front of anybody, anywhere, for any fucking reason, all to save their own fucking faces. And see, this is where I believe my brother should be a puddle on the fucking ground. And this is also where I believe the police should be a puddle on the fucking ground. I've mentioned innumerable times where I'm being covertly hacked, manipulated, maligned, fucking targeted. Someone's out to fucking do me serious harm. And there's not a damn thing that they can do about it. And I know why now. I didn't understand that, but that's just it. You're talking about, okay, it being illegal for me to say, go kill yourself, right? But what's worse, me telling you to go kill yourself, or between the grapevine, the police, practitioners, the psychiatrists getting away. They're getting away with rape while you're on a 72-hour hold. The guy that came in from Hennepin County said they didn't even have the right to keep me there. Still, well, then why can't you get me out of here? Well, I wish it was that easy, he said, but it's not. But he said, I can assure you that I know the fuck well they don't have the right to hold you here, and I'm gonna get you out of here. And she was that lady. She was, Rajiv's wife, if you ask me. The fucking lady of the wife of the man that owned the apartments that we lived at, and that's exactly what I think it was. I don't know for verbatim, but I think so. By the way these people responded, yeah, I think so. She wanted to keep me in there because she knows that if these things were ever going to get caught, they got multiple felonies on multiple different levels and 3 floors. In that one building. That's just one building. I'm sure there's others. Because these people pass places without them being up to code, and then people are living in squalor. And either way, with what people were doing to me in my life at that time, they were doing it to me and my mom, specifically to suffocate us out. Not even having the ability to fight back against these things. So the last part is the sexualization and the trauma triggers. This is a big one because the trauma triggers make you hypersexualized, and that feeling of being hypersexualized sucks really bad, because not only do you feel like you're completely loveless, useless, worthless, like just whatever, but it strips you of your own ideas for what you would want in your life, and you kind of are overly passive about your own boundaries, which isn't good. It's completely unhealthy, and it just strips you from your identity, and then it leaves your soul in fragments. And they did that on purpose. They were like doing that on purpose to leave my heart and soul in fragments with everything that they would do. You see? Anyway, I only got through 10 of 250, but I'm fucking tired, and I just needed to talk really to continue my head being awake. So I appreciate you guys being here. I really hope that something can come from this stuff, because I didn't deserve this. I didn't. And I can explain it to and through. I really can. It's just, I have had trouble with my mind surfacing I have solid memories. I've just had trouble surfacing my mind to talk those memories. So though I say it the wrong way, and they say that, oh, memories that just came back to you are not, they don't hold any weight, blah blah blah. Well, no, the memories themselves are sound. They're solid memories. The part that I was having trouble with is being able to find the words to surface to explain what all was going on in my mind for 16 years, or at times periodically for 5 years, or blocks of time that just went away based on the arsenic poisoning, you see. And the suffocating down to the cellular level, it's kind of like you're all like, and you're just trying to get out words and stuff like that, but you realize in the motion when it's really harsh, but then it eases up as far as like how constricting it is on your body. But then as it eases up, you're still having trouble like it's confusing to you. You don't understand it. You don't understand a fucking thing. And that, when you surface your own mind to be able to utilize your mind finally, and I didn't want him sneaking up on me, when I felt good. And then they still got to me 2 other times for sure. The one was a really bad poisoning. I fell to the ground. I think that next day my brother was like, he did not think that he was going to talk to me ever again. That's how it sounded to me. He sounded like he was just in awe that he was even talking to me. It was like as if I rose from the dead. I came out from the cave that they had stuffed me in, and there I was talking. I don't know. It was just really a fucking eerie feeling that he gave me in that moment in time. And then everything after that was about the psychological torture of my greater heart towards him, towards my brothers, towards my friend, towards my girl, towards anyone that I had been with. And they utilized that specifically to torment me in the worst ways. But yeah, it's very triggering to be sexually traumatized in this way and have it be where you're like attention hyper deficit on top of like dealing with those things, of the poisonings, I should say, not just the psychological warfare games and the heightened, very high cortisol that's running through my body. And then on top of it, it's just nobody who is anybody is going to tell me that after 28 years you can go ahead and deflect on your relationship in that kind of way and tell that person that you're not involved. No fucking way. Which is exactly why I think that even in those coming days, they thought that they still had yet a foolproof plan or two. Because when they came up and they did that cyanide, and the back of my neck and the back of my head was all red, they put something on me, and that was what almost killed me. I was like, the whole world was going white around me, and I had to pull over. There's no way I could have been able to continue to drive. I called the police. It routed to a police station that it should not have routed to based on where my cell phone was. And that's peculiar to me as well, given the extremities of the situation. But then on top of it, it's like I'm asking them specifically for that conversation that I had with the police station. And I want that on record so that I can take the story and work up what happened around it. You see what I mean? And they're not even giving me my story. If they even had it recording, which they should. Or if they saved the recording, which they should. But see, I'm not recorded on anything. They don't have the police reports. The only thing that they have about reports are in the favor of all of these motherfuckers doing this crime to me. Because my daddy is a fucking occultist. He's a part of this pedophilia shit that's going on. And it's been going on. And even if he wanted to maneuver to change, my brothers had no right to fucking do what they did. And regardless of the scenario, motherfucking my father put his dick where it doesn't belong. End of fucking story. And if that man wanted to ever face me, I will have you know, I will fuck your whole entire world up, and I won't even care. Because of what you motherfucking know you gutter trash did. You piece of shit.